In this video, I want to talk about why you go through trials and tribulation, pain and suffering, and what you can do about it. Hi, I'm David Dubé, and I've been a coach, consultant, a speaker, and author the last 15 plus years. I help my clients and have helped many clients get through their traumas and figure out why they were attached to something and how to detach themselves from it so they can live a better life. Now, I have a resource that's free for you if you're going through those things, and I'll talk about that at the very end of this video. So, one of the things that I say, and I say this to all my clients, is that people get things, but they seldom understand them. Let me say that again. People get things, but they seldom understand them. What do you mean, David? People get things, but they seldom understand them. What I mean is this. You have a human body. Now, I'm going to ask you this question about the human body that I'm pretty sure if you're like 97% of the rest of the populace that I asked this question to, they don't know the answer to. Now, if you're a nurse or you study biology, you probably know this answer. And that is, how many systems make up the human body? Now, most people don't know that. And I hear people say hundreds of systems. Some will say, there's a couple systems. Well, if you Google it, you will find that there's roughly 12 systems. And so the irony is this: you have a body, you live this life, and you exist, but yet you don't fundamentally understand the systems that make your body function in order for you to live life. And you're not required to. Isn't it crazy? But it's true. You're not required to know those systems. You're not required to know how to work those systems, how to best operate those systems so you can live the best life and have the best body. You're not required to. That's the irony of it, is you probably should be, but you're not required. So you get a body, you have a body, but yet you fundamentally do not know how your body runs or operates. It's kind of screwed up if you ask me. But that's our lives. That's the way we live our lives right now. So one of the biggest things and the reasons why we deal with pain and suffering and we go through trials and tribulations and have challenges in our lives isn't because God hates you, the universe hates you, or someone hates you. That's not the reason at all. A lot of us, we want that to be the reason because then we can gain pity from other people and they'll give us money, food, shelter. We look to be the victim so that we can get things for free. Victimhood can be a powerful thing, but it's a bullshit excuse for the real reason for life. You are not here to be a victim. You're here to go through trials and tribulations, to endure pain, endure suffering, and challenges in order to be something better than you are now. To be the person that you were in comparison to who you are is to go through trials and tribulations, to go through challenges and deal with pain and suffering. So, how do you deal with this? How do you get through this? How do you come out on the other side better than you were? If you're dealing with something right now that's traumatic, that's a problem, that's a challenge, going through pain, suffering, how do you get to that other side, David? Now, the problem happens to be you are in the system. You're in the system. You're in the matrix. You're in the problem itself. The reason why we can't see the outcomes, or we can't get through these things, or we can't foresee greatness on the other side of our challenges and our problems because we're so inside of them, it's because we're too emotionally attached to it. Oftentimes, after a problem, after a scenario, after a situation has occurred, is the best time to look at it from a new perspective, to gain the knowledge that you should have or could have had when you were inside of it. Sometimes it's much easier to wait till after a problem has subsided for you to figure out the right solution. Or you look at people who've gone through those problems to find the solutions, or to find the answer in which you're looking for. But the main reason why you're going through pain, suffering, or any kind of challenge is because you were meant to. There's something greater for you on the other side of that challenge, that pain, that suffering, the trial, the tribulation, than you could ever imagine as you're in it. Now, I want to help you figure out how to do this, and that's what I'm going to share with you right now. Now, the other thing I say to all my clients is this. So the first thing was people get things, but they seldom understand them. The second thing is life is a lesson and time is the teacher. I'll say it again. Life is a lesson and time is the teacher. You see, if you don't learn something, the first challenge, the first time you go through something, if you haven't learned the lesson from it, that challenge will show up some other way in your life. It will rear its ugly head again. If you had a terrible breakup, or you're in an abusive relationship, and you didn't learn the lesson of that abusive relationship, you're going to get into another relationship that's going to be abusive. And if you didn't learn it the second time, you're going to get into a third relationship that's abusive. And then maybe at some point you're like, you know what, I'm just done with relationships, or I'm just going to switch teams. Right? And so you give up because you didn't learn the lesson. And that's what so many of us do. We don't learn the lesson, so we just go complete 180-degree change and hope that that's the solution to the problem that we originally felt. And that's not always the case, and that's not always the best answer. And the reason is because we are so into the space in which the problem is happening, right? We are the problem. We are in the problem. The problem is happening to us. We have several things. We have our beliefs and we have our perceptions that have hooked us and have generated within us the outcome in which we foresee is right for us. Right? I believe because of X, Y, and Z that this is the solution for me. Is that the right solution for me? I don't know. But I believe it to be. See, we miss opportunities in our lives. We miss the answers to our questions in our lives because we have a perception of the outcome that if we don't get it the way we perceive it to be, then we don't see it as an outcome, a positive one. We see it then as a negative outcome. I'll give you a stupid, silly example of this. Stupid, silly, because I was visiting family, and family was ordering pizza that I was going to go get this pizza. And so I had to go get this pizza and bring it back. I had expectation of the pizza I wanted. And so I set the expectation, hey, I want this pizza. And I was told that they were going to order pizza with green olives on it. Now, I don't know if you know about green olives, and they were thinking half green olives and then half something else. And I was furious because green olives on any side of the pizza make that entire pie awful. It means green olives leach the entire pizza, even if it's just on half. I don't know why. And it just makes it gross. And I don't like green olives. I don't know why. I try to like them. I can't like them. Right? And I had this outcome in my mind of what was going to happen. And I was furious. I was getting really angry at my family for having ordered this pizza that I was like, now I'm not going to be able to order this pizza or eat this pizza because it's going to have green olives that have touched it, and it just spoiled the whole thing. And I was kind of pissed. And so I went and I picked up the pizza to find out that it wasn't one pizza. There was like 4 pizzas in there. So even if one had green olives on it, it wouldn't matter anyway. And I get back to the house and pull the pizzas out, and they got green olives on the side, not even on the pizza. And so, like, my outcome of this whole situation had to deal with the green olives being on a pizza that I thought we were getting 1 pizza, not 4 pizza, right? So I had this perception of what is, and it worked out in the end. Like, it seems so stupid and benign that I even had that thought, that idea, and to be angry about it was stupid in itself. Like, I let them know, and then I was pissed off after they're like, okay, we took it into consideration, but then we went and ordered the pizzas. Right? I didn't know 100% of the information anyway, and obviously I didn't figure that out until after I delivered the pizzas because I wasn't looking through all the stuff and the reason is because it was winter outside. I just put it in a hot bag and then just drove it to where I was going, as opposed to opening them up and in a 15-minute car ride. I don't want my pizza to be cold. I don't know about you. So, right? There's all these excuses, but the idea is this. I had this perceived outcome of what isness, which wasn't even what was delivered in the end. And I was angry about it pretty much until I got there and opened up all the pizzas to see that there was not even a green olive on a single one of them. Right? It seems so stupid and so benign, but I was furious about it up until the point I opened the boxes. We have these ideas and these ideals that we perceive are right for us, and if they don't occur, then we don't get what we want. But the irony is, the universe is going to deliver the answers the way you're supposed to receive them, and you have to be open enough to see those things, or you're not going to see them. So the best way to do this is to remove your emotions. Such a difficult thing to do, and sometimes the easiest way to do that is wait until post-event, right? You've gone through the event, and then you can separate yourself from it, and some of the best ways to do that is to write it down, get it out of your head, type it out, write it out, and then read it from a separate vantage point than experiencing it. Because if you play it in your head, you're experiencing it as if you're watching it from first person. And once you separate yourself from it, and you can ask yourself other questions like, how did Joe perceive it? How did Nancy perceive it? Right? If they happen to be two people that were at the event, how did they perceive this? How did I perceive this? You can look at it from the vantage point of spirit, which is pure love. Not egoic love, not conditional love, but pure love. Right? Egoic love and conditional love are one and the same. It's like, you do this for me, and I'll give you love. You deliver me that, and I will give you love. Totally different. That's not real love. That's not true love anyway. Pure love is looking at it from the vantage point of, I'm going to allow all that happens. Like, if you have children, and you're a parent, and you allow your kids, a certain levity to exchange like banter or kind of like fight with each other as kids to learn, right? They're going to play out this power struggle. And you're going to allow it to occur for a short time until someone gets hurt, but the idea, and not hurt enough where it's like one's blinded or something stupid like that, but the idea is they need to have that exchange themselves for the betterment of themselves. And you do it out of love, not out of hate for your children. This is why God or universe or creator does what it does, is it allows us to exist, allows us to go through great things and shitty things all at the same time. And mind you, the only reason why something is great or shitty has to do with our perception of the what-isness of life. That's it. And if you break those things down, if you look at things objectively, purely for what they are, you then can experience life in a different way. You can grow faster and quicker and better than you could ever imagine. And you grow spiritually, not just physically and mentally. All because you're looking at things objectively and not from your physicalness with the emotions attached to it. Because that's what we all do. And I'm not saying that this is the easiest thing to do. I'm not. I'm sharing this with you knowing that this is a process I constantly struggle with myself. I'm not telling you this because I'm better than you. I know all this. I still go through crap. I still look at things from my perspective and I get angry. Just like I talked about with that pizza situation, which was just 2 years ago. The idea is all of us have this innate ability within us. We just have to use it more so we can grow quicker. We can get out of this control structure and into a spiritual structure where we live better lives, where we exist with one another on a different level than we currently do, that's less attached to outcomes than ever before. Our lives will be greater, will be better. That's why I'm sharing this with you. I'm sharing this with you because even though we don't know each other personally, most likely, we don't. But that I'm sharing this with you out of pure love, out of my love for you, because I know that this information being out there and giving it and delivering it out of pure love will only enable it to permeate the interwebs. Hopefully you like it and you share it, but I'm not attached to that. You don't have to. It doesn't bother me if you do or you don't. As a channel, as a person on YouTube, on a channel, of course that's what you want. But not being attached to it allows it to grow in its own way. to do its own thing. Whether you like this or not, I don't know. I don't care. I have no hooks in it, per se. I'm giving this because I care. I care about you. I care about the world. I care about humanity. I want us to be better. I know we can be better. And this is one of the best ways to do that. Why you are going through pain and suffering and trials and tribulations and challenges in your life is so you become a better person. Not a victim, but a better person. And we can better ourselves and we can better the world by sharing this information, by allowing other people to be more of who they are, who they're meant to be. I say this, be, believe, become. Be the person you're meant to be. Believe in all that you're capable of and become more than you thought imaginable. I'm David Dubé, and I'll talk to you again in the next video. Take care. Oh, wait, before I go, let me give you that one thing that I told you I'd have for you at the end of the video, and that is this. If you, my friend, have been through any kind of trauma and you've had issues getting through it, getting over it, or you've sought help and you just haven't been able to either get the right help for you, or you haven't even sought help, but you know that you need some, then I have a resource for you. It's absolutely free. It's a free video training, and you can find it at traumafree.me. That again is traumafree.me. You can go there. All you have to do is enter your name and email, and it's free for you. That being said, I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.